He breaks down plays better than anyone.
I mean, this is like Shark Week now. And you know what Baker Mayfield is? He's chum. Look at these sharks. You think you're getting away from those 4 angry sharks? It's Shark Week. It's time to eat. Make the read. Urgency. That's the name of the game right here. Urgency. Now, on it. He's on it. Touchdown. Beautiful throw.
He's our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, Brian Baldinger.
We love some Baldy here on the Morning Roast every single Tuesday, 7:30. Breaks down the game better than everybody. And Baldy sat in with us Friday for all 3 hours. Those 3 hours felt like 30 minutes. It was absolute fire. It was a lot of fun. Went to go tailgate. Baldy went, he was just diving into the beat. He was just like, you know what, I'm not waiting for Shasky. I don't care about the hospitality. I'm going to take the knife. I'm going to just start cutting meat, and I'm going to start chumming stuff down here. So Baldy, good morning, at Baldy NFL on Twitter. What's happening, my man?
Good morning, Bonte and Joe. Miss you guys, man. I'm doing good here. It's good to join you.
Hey, man, we miss you too, man. Wish you were here this week, next week, because it's a lot of fun. And we can go in a lot of different directions here. Just don't need to stick with football, but you're there at Levi Stadium Sunday watching the Niners beat up on the Falcons, and they did what they had to do against the Falcons there. And I just love the physicality of this defense. Defense setting the tone, picking up the special teams, picking up the offense. This defense is flying around on Sunday, Baldy.
Well, they had to. I mean, you fumble the opening kickoff, and you give the Falcons the ball at the 12-yard line, and then they're down there on the goal line, first and goal at the 1, and they don't score. I mean, that's a great start. And so that's transition defense. All right, look, we got to go keep them out of the end zone. That's our job. Go out there in the field, take care of business. Fred Warner, defending the tight end, good penetration. Putting Matt Ryan under pressure. That got it off started. But I really think that the 8-man rotation of the defensive line is really good right now. Arden Key is playing the best football he's ever played by far. Nick is just having an amazing season. But DJ Jones, like all of them right now, they're all playing really well up front, man. They need that, and that's where it starts.
Yeah, we were actually breaking down some of the numbers between Alden Smith's first 32 games and Nick Bosa's first 32 games. I mean, Nick Bosa has just been unbelievable, and it's weird because they're missing Javon Kinlaw, and obviously they don't have Dee Ford right now, but in a weird way, I feel like their defensive line is still kind of the strength of that defense.
It is. It is, Joe. You're seeing the right thing. I mean, they're 8 deep, or maybe 9 deep. When I was watching them on Sunday, and you look at all of them. I mean, whether it's Kevin Givens right now, or like I said, Jones has been giving them really good minutes. On the at the nose tackle position, but Kentavious Street has played well. Willis, Bucam. I mean, all those guys have really contributed. Charles Omenihu got on the field, made a play the other day. So they dressed 9 defensive linemen the other day, and that's about the most that any team will dress, but they're playing all 9, and they're keeping them fresh, and they're rotating them through. The one guy that plays more than anybody else is Nick, and he should. Right. But the other guys are, and I think Eric Armstead, I think he'll play anywhere. I just think he's that type of a player. But I think, inside, because of his size, his length, I think he could be more disruptive inside.
Brian Baldinger here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game, breaking down the Niners and Falcons game. Niners win 31-13 at Levi Stadium. Short week. They'll head to Nashville tomorrow to take on the Titans for Thursday Night Football. I got to ask you about Jimmy Ward, Baldy, because I saw him shadowing Kyle Pitts a lot in that football game. And Jimmy Ward is a free safety. We've been hard on him out here, man. A former first-round pick. We thought he should have been cut from the football team a few years ago. This guy's a damn good free safety as a cover corner, as a hitter. How would you assess Jimmy Ward's game and what you saw on Sunday?
I thought he was great. I think him and Jaworski, I think they played really well together. And, I thought that, Kyle Pitts was really not a factor in that game at all. I mean, obviously they went after Ambry Thomas, the rookie, and they should. I thought they would do it more than what they did, but I thought Jimmy Ward was outstanding. I think he's just been a really solid player, and I think those two safeties are a big part of what they do. They fit in the run game really well. The ball didn't go over their head much. Kept everything in front of them. I think they've been really solid.
When I flip it over to the other side of the ball and I'm looking at the offense, I just felt like they're controlling the game via the run. And Jeff Wilson Jr., man, it was so good to see him spry, hitting holes, cutting back and forth. But it felt like that offensive line was really dominating. And I love their mix of in between the tackles and then tossing it to the outside with Jeff Wilson and using Deebo Samuel. The run game is really starting to get going now.
It is. It's been a different running back just about every week, but Wilson gave him really good, he gave him really good reps. I bet they played really well up front. I mean, Trent Williams, it's hard to find, anybody that can play the position as well as he plays it. And really, as there's an old saying that says that everything is difficult before it gets easy. Like, Trent Williams just makes things look easy. I know it isn't. Not everybody has the feet and the athletic ability that he has. But, I mean, I just think everybody. I mean, whether it's, Juice and what he does, whether it's the tight ends, how they fit in the run scheme. I mean, it's really good. And they need to be good because they're going to see the best front they've seen in a long time when they go to Tennessee this week. This is a very good front. Jeffrey Simmons is as good a defensive tackle as there is in football. Harold Landry, Danico Autry, they're all playing well. It's a good group. And, they picked up Zach Cunningham from the Houston Texans, and he played an outstanding game the other day against Pittsburgh. So this is a much different test than what the Atlanta Falcons gave up.
Well, is it a test that George Kittle can pass, Baldy? Because this guy is making plays now. His last 3 weeks have been phenomenal, and the Joker just won't go down, man. This guy, you want to talk about a tone setter, Baldy. I know he's your type of guy. He catches a pass, he gets tackled. It takes 5 dudes to get this guy down. I'm thinking to myself, man, just go down, George Kittle, but he doesn't play the game like that, which you got to love.
No, he doesn't. And he's been coached that way, though. When you look at Wayne Embry or John Embry, the tight end coach. I mean, he challenged him. He challenged him his second year when he set the NFL record for, yards by a tight end. He just challenged him not to go out of bounds and not to be tackled by a single guy. And you could just see it. You could see the effort. You could see just the punch that he has, the explosion into a tackler, and how he's just going to either truck him or he's just going to keep on trucking, one or the other. And I think he's been challenged like that. He loves the challenge, and it's not going to stop. I mean, he's awesome after the catch. But, the way Jimmy threw the football the other day, there was a lot of yards after the catch.
Yeah.
He put the ball, he threw a slant to
Brandon Ayuk for 36 yards. Yep.
Yeah, Ayuk. But, he just put it in the right spot to Brandon right there. Just stay at full speed. He did the same thing with Deebo a few times. Jimmy was really strong the other day. He was really accurate. I don't know that he got touched in the game by the Atlanta Falcons. That always helps a little bit, too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the only play was the one where he had all day, and he couldn't find anybody. He got crunched, and, I don't know, it looked like he was trying to just get rid of it, and Jeff Wilson Jr. made a hell of a play to turn it into 6 yards.
Yes.
But just in Jimmy Garoppolo in the day that he had, I agree with you. I thought he was accurate. He was in rhythm, and I liked the way Shanahan moved him, not like a full rollout, just like a little bit of movement to kind of make a clearer platform or to get him out on the edges and just throwing to Jawan Jennings. I really like the synergy between the play calling and the quarterback's play. I think they're really in lockstep right now.
Well, I thought they busted out a couple new play action passes the other day where it's really subtle differences between what they do and what they did. But I thought the subtle differences really kind of froze Atlanta, and that's what you're looking to get those guys to do, to move those linebackers. And I thought they did that. The RPO game is a small part, but it's still a part of what they do offensively. But I thought play action passes were really strong. I thought Jimmy saw the field really well, made really good decisions. And those are the type of games that, you can really build off of. You start to try to put a stretch together where you really take care of the football, and you're not giving it back, and you're not sailing footballs, and you go, okay, can we get another game, another clean game like that? And you never know when quarterbacks are just going to go on that streak where it's just going to be clean. And part of it is the play calling, a big part of it is the execution, and then just how the quarterback is seeing the field. And I thought he saw it really well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Special teams got to clean up, though. You want to win
No
big
doubt.
football games. Special teams can't fumble the kickoffs. Got to have better punts, better field goal kicking here. You brought up Tennessee in that defense there, and I forgot they added Zach Cunningham, who was just recently cut by the Texans. That's a strong pickup by them. But what's going on with Tennessee's offense? Because obviously no Derrick Henry. I saw Julio Jones left the game with the hamstring injury. What do you see out of the Tennessee offense? What can they do to scare the 49ers this Thursday?
Well, they ran the ball for 201 yards. That's the first thing you notice is, Dante Foreman, the old Texas running back. I mean, they couldn't keep anybody healthy. And so they picked up Dante Foreman. He had his best game, maybe the best. I have to look it up, but it might be his best game as a pro or one of his best games, certainly. But they ran the ball for 200 yards, and that's what they want to do. The surprising part was they fumbled 4 times, and they just turned it over. And they turned it over in their own territory where really Pittsburgh did nothing offensively. I mean, absolutely nothing. I mean, all they did was run screens and goes, and they didn't gain many yards doing either one of them. And, but they had such great field position, they kicked 4 field goals off of the fumbles. And so that's how Pittsburgh won that game. But Tennessee's offense was dreadful. They don't have anybody that can stretch the field right now. Tannehill, it's either I thought he would play better than that. But, I mean, he wasn't fumbling all the time. But they put the ball on the ground way too frequently, and that's why they lost the game.
Well, now that you've seen, you're previewing, obviously, Tennessee right now, and you've seen the 49ers up close and personal. I mean, is this one of those, like, you got to win type of games? Because the way you're making it sound, like, I feel like they got to have this one.
They got to have it. But, I think, like, all these games down the stretch, like, they... the idea is to obviously keep winning, stacking wins. You win 5 out of 6. But at the same time, finding different things out about your team. Like this offensive line, this will be the best test they've had in a while. Like, I think this is, maybe the Rams, which they really played really well against the Rams, but this is a very talented front. They've got a lot of great players. They got a lot of physical players. They do a lot up front. They give you a lot of different look. This is a great test. And if you go to Tennessee and you win on a short week, Christmas is going to be that much special for all the players who have kids, coaches who have kids. It's going to be that much more special. You'll get a little bit of time to get yourself ready for the final 2 weeks. But you also learn that, we can handle a good front. And we can protect our quarterback. And we can still, gash him in the run game. And so I just think this is it's a good test. It's on the road, short week. You got to get yourself ready to go. I'm sure Kyle was talking about it even last week about what you got to do mentally. So I just think that when you watch this one on Thursday night, like, look for this front and how they handle it and how well they play up against it. I think also, Compton and Brunskill, we don't talk about them very much. They played outstanding football, really outstanding football.
Yeah, no, they're getting better. They're doing a really good job in the run game. As you mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo did get touched, Baldy. I wanted to ask you real quick, Shasky. Niners have won 5 of 6. You talk about this game on Thursday. They think they'll win this game. They get the Texans on deck. Are the Niners starting to become one of the more dangerous teams in the NFC? Tampa Bay dealing with injuries. Chris Godwin's gone for the season. We'll see about Mike Evans, who's got a hammy. Who knows about Antonio Brown? Green Bay, look, Green Bay's tough, Baldy. They're tough. They're going to be, if they get home field advantage, it'd be tough to beat them at Lambeau, but we're starting to see fades with the Cardinals. Dallas not playing well. Niners starting to become dangerous in the NFC. Do they got a shot at this thing?
Well, I think, this whole thing started when they just whipped the Rams on that Monday night.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was the game. Now, they lost to Seattle, and they didn't play particularly well. They turned it over a couple times. But they still put up 23 points. They moved the ball on them. I just felt like when they beat the Rams, like they said, you could beat the Rams like they did. You could play a physical style football against anybody. I don't think they're going to back down anybody. Green Bay is exceptional. Aaron Rodgers is just playing lights out. Like, he's just on a different level. I think he's probably win another MVP this year. But you worry about them when that happens. I mean, this is the test right here. This is a good team that could do a lot of things well that could bother the 49ers. And so you take care of this and you get to 6 out of 7. Yes, I think they could be a dangerous team, but they've got to. I caution myself from saying that too soon because this is a team that's pretty well coached to very well coached and can present issues.
Yeah, I'm a big Vrabel fan. I just like his whole aura and how he attacks things. You brought up the offensive line. I think for most fans, myself included, like, it's hard for me to identify sophisticated offensive line play. And you were talking about Trent Williams and what makes him special. And then you brought up Tom Compton and Daniel Brunskill. Heading into the year, the right side with McGlinchey and Brunskill was like, big question mark. And then McGlinchey gets hurt. Compton steps in. They were using more, and they're blowing back and forth. Explain to me, because I can't tell, is this a function of players stepping up and just playing really well right now in one-on-ones, or is this a functionality of coaching trying to get them up to speed? Why is that side of the offensive line playing so well?
I think it's probably the way they attack practice on Wednesdays and Thursdays and how hard it is and what they're emphasizing and where you got to be for, Tom Compton. This is a little bit different now. But he's getting a chance to really play. He's been a backup, for much of his career. But I think the emphasis that they get done on Wednesdays and Thursdays and how it fits, how everything fits, the tight ends fit. I mean, Kittle's in motion every play. If you put an odometer on him, he's going 8 miles every single game, But, so you're shifting strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. And then they get an advantage in some of those motions and shifts that they do. And how the fullback fits in. I just think the way it's all fitting together right now, it's the way, like I always say, like the coaches have a vision of how they want their team to play. And I would venture to say, I don't think Kyle will say this publicly, but I'd say his team is playing, especially on offense, the way he envisions they can play. And so the vision he has, the way it's being coached and taught, and then the way it's being executed, I think it's interesting. I was watching Alex Mack. I was talking to him down the field before the game. I'm a big fan of Alex. Really smart guy, great guy. Always go to the offense line when you want to find out about anything because they always know the truth. But I watched him go through. He literally said he went through every single run, full speed against air, just envisioning the way the play is supposed to work. Whether it's pulling, whether it's getting to the second level, whether it's a choke block, a trap block, whatever it was. I watched him go through the whole thing, and I was talking to him about it. And he says it's like this visual thing that he does. And to me, it's sort of a microcosm of probably how the team, especially the offensive line, is playing. Like, this is the way it's supposed to look. This is the way we practice it. Now let's go make this happen the way we made it happen on Wednesday and Thursday. And I feel like they're getting close to that right now.
Wow. Good stuff there, Baldy. And by the way, what's your Christmas plans, man? What you got cooking up this weekend?
I don't know yet, Bonte. Tuesday football is really throwing everything. They don't know which games are going to be flexed. I don't know where I'm going on Sunday yet, or if I got a game on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm just waiting until tomorrow morning when Week 15 finally ends before the league decides, what they're going to do and where these games are going to be.
Well, make sure those suites are available at the Intercontinental Hotel. We got to make sure those suites are ready to go, man.
Yeah. I hope they fly me back there.
Yeah, no doubt. We want to have you back out here, at least for the Niners-Texans, and that may be the last home game of the season for the 49ers, as if they make the playoffs, they may have to go on the road for every single game. But Baldy, it's always a blast, man. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Niners go to SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl, and we'll all do the damn thing in L.A. We'll all stay at the Intercontinental.
Okay. All right. Well, I've already got it booked, guys. I've already got it booked.
Let's go, man. Bandanas and everything. Baldy, you're the best, brother.
Thanks, Baldy.
Okay, guys. See you, Joe.
Yep.
Brian Baldinger here on 95.7 The Game on the Morning Roast, breaking down the 49ers. Just a wealth of knowledge there. Offensive line, George Kittle, all that stuff.